Hello everybody and welcome back to ILR. This is round 7 of the American Tier Championship for the Inside Line Racing League. Hello everybody, my name is Alan Kavagnar and welcome back to the German Grand Prix. It is the 7th round in this 11 round championship, and I will be very sloppy today with the camera switching because my controllers or my charger, I don't even know what the problem is, they seem to not be charging, and constantly I have the charger plugged into both controllers, and basically from time to time, even when they are plugged in, they seem to, lose battery. So if any instance in this race you cannot hear me, please comment down below or anything. I am suffering with definite technical problems, so hopefully we get that sorted today. But anyway, we are here to begin the qualifying session, and my mic will sound a tad bit different because I'm holding it this time. I can't have it set down because a charger would be too far away from the remote or the controller, so we're standing this time in during commentary, and you will hear a lot of wind sounds, but we're going to try and get these issues fixed for future outcome. And my other controller, the L1 button, is broken, so we're using a new controller as well. But this was, this happened after I had the battery issues with the controller, so no worries. I saw an issue with one car. It was right here, yeah, it was a Ferrari with Rick Ping and Scott in the Ferrari. So 15 minutes remaining. There was some news in the ILR Americas paddock. You can see some of these drivers, you can see some of these drivers wearing red helmets in tribute to Formula One legend and 3-time world champion Niki Lauda. He passed away roughly a week ago, leading up to the Monaco Grand Prix weekend. And if you missed today in motorsports, Hamilton won the race, and in tribute to Niki Lauda, as well as Simon Pagenaud winning the Indy 500. And I think he mentioned Niki Lauda in one of his interviews. I'm not entirely sure. He might have dedicated it to him. I'm not entirely sure. So we have 2 races that already have gone on today, and Indy just finished less than an hour ago, so perfect timing for that. It's LR Surface on the front row so far. It's a 1:10.5. Let me switch the detail here. He's on the only one on the Ultra Softs that has set a lap time. Everyone else has set a time on the medium tires, and that explains why they're only 2 seconds off the pace compared to Surface. Let me see if I can put that to the leader. There you go. He's 2 seconds off. So let me sit down and let me stick with Surface for a bit. I'm not going to change, the camera or anything, or else my controller may die, and we're not going to risk that. So might as well just stay with Surface here and talk about the series. So after this is the 7th round of the 11 round championship. There's yellow in Sector 2 and 3. But after 7, we would have 4 rounds remaining in this championship as Surface dives into the pits. So we'll put the camera on Fatal. Hopefully they can give us a better camera angle. There we go. But with only 4 rounds remaining in this championship afterwards, Hockenheim kind of begs the question. It's Me has really pulled off a good gap and, is here in spirits today. Speedsa cannot be here. I know he's one of the championship contenders. I know Diego is one of the championship contenders, and he is here today. So if he does win, he could definitely shake up the championship standings. And speaking of the standings, someone who definitely shook it up last week was the winner of the British Grand Prix, Mr. Odoms over here, putting on a spectacle performance in Silverstone. He absolutely pulled off a masterclass and won that race. So, he is now, I believe this is his only league that he's running right now. He's left the majority of other leagues due to internet connection issues. So he said he's not playing in league racing until 2019, but here is Odom, still in the midst of the championship, just a couple rounds remaining. He says might as well just finish it out on 2018, and, running in his Pink Panther, he definitely has the motivation to carry through this season, and he will yet to set a lap time so far yet today. Here's Jack. Let me switch to It's Me. So he is on the medium tire, so he is going for a banker lap. And through the final corner, run up to the line. That'll be It's Me starting his lap time. I know there are people commenting down below, so let me check that everyone can hear me. So while you have It's Me, he's coming up on slow traffic. That is the Sauber. Not entirely sure. That has to be a lady because Fatal is in the pits. So as we get prepped for the weekend, like I said, we have 15 drivers for today, and it's very interesting to see that we do have some drivers tuning in for today, some that we have not seen in a while. Let's look back. Let's actually introduce the drivers. I'm going to be very, very active with this. We'll go the other way around. So we have It's Me on here on screen. He is our championship points leader with the majority of the wins this season, and I believe a podium in every single race so far. Last weekend he got third. His lowest finish of the season. After that, we have Fatal. Fatal has had a interesting season so far, to say the least. And then we have LR Surface. His first race was the second round of the championship, so he had a late start to the season, and he did not disappoint at all. He's had a thrilling start to the season after getting a podium, I believe a second place, if I'm correct. Then you have the league owner, Jack. He's teammates with It's Me, and right now they are bringing a fantastic championship, or constructors battle as well. I think they're actually in the lead of the championship, with Red Bull up there and Toro Rosso, the two Red Bull teams fighting for it. After that, you have King MJ and the other Force India. He's partnered with Odoms, and again, he had a strong performance in Silverstone. Both Force Indias, or I should say Racing Points, did strong performances in Silverstone, with staying on the harder compound at the end and not pitting when their tires definitely wore. Kind of reminded me of what happened today in Monaco. Then you have John McClane and the Haas. Haas is... They've been solid in the championship, and when I say that, they're not really up there. I mean, they do have drivers showing up for them week in and week out, but those finishes have not been where they needed to be to get some points. And John McClane does go fifth fastest, so it does mess it up a little bit. And then we have Diego there in the other Red Bull. He's been consistent this season. He has a win. He has a couple of runner-up finishes. So look for him in the championship. Now you have his teammate Banana. Banana, he did show some early pace, and he's been trying to improve upon that, and he's definitely improved indeed. Then you have a lady down here, and the Alfa Romeo. And again, doing a stellar job so far this season, trying to get a good points finish today. And so is Odoms, the man, the myth, the legend, who won last week out, and he is looking for a top 5 in qualifying. I know Odoms, he definitely goes for those top starting positions, and that's definitely one thing on his mind. And speaking on their mind, Sterling West does have the idea in mind that he does want to definitely wants to score a lot of points today, and there's the notification at the top left saying I have low battery. So I'm going to try and hold the controller now. So after that, Sterling West, he will try and get some good points today. Now that Speeds isn't here, they're really close in the championship, and Ferrari are a force to reckon with, as I believe they're either second or third in constructors, not entirely sure. After that, you have, wrong button, R2 it is. Then you have Elite Lorenzo down there and his teammate Rick Ping, both Renaults. What I can remember from Austria, I'm trying to remember I remember Austria, Elite Lorenzo, or one of the Renaults did not finish, and Silverstone is a different story. They had a decent running out there. Then you have Gordo in the Mercedes, and again, he's been trying to help Surface out there, and as a teammate in general, trying to help the constructors battle and bring on the fight. But as he is starting his lap time, he'll try and get a top 10, or at least a top 5, maybe even. And after that, like we said, we have King MJ and Jack. That rounds out the grid. And let's stay on board with It's Me. Take an onboard view with his lap, and as soon as I put the controller down, it says I have battery level low. Let's just hope that the battery does not die. So anyway, we'll take an onboard view with It's Me. He's in P4 right now. He's still on the medium tire, surprisingly, and locking them up. So with 7 minutes remaining, he's just still trying to finish out his run. He'll go back in the pits and come back out later, either on the ultras or the softs. It depends. He could be overconfident and put on the softs and still get a top 2, top 3, top 4 maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But with It's Me, he's definitely been one of the fastest drivers so far this season. And, on the start of the season, it was Diego, but he retired early or late on in the race, in the first race of the season. After that, it was It's Me bringing the prize to the medal every race from then onwards. So It's Me, like we said, is a threat for pole position today, and was a shocker that he did not win Silverstone when it was Odoms that came in clutch, but he's going to try and come into the pits now. And he will be done with qualifying for now. What about Fatal? Because Fatal's still on a run. On the soft tires of the yellow wall compounds. And in that Ferrari, hopefully his strategy goes better than the actual Ferrari mechanics. Or at least trying to figure it out for them. Hopefully he doesn't have the Hopefully he doesn't have the same luck, but Scott is filling in for Speedsta today. I was going to say, I didn't even realize it at first. I know Scott shows up every week. I know he's one of the reserves. But then I realized there's 2 Ferraris out there, and Speeds is not here, so he must have a reserve spot, and that's exactly what it is. And the only thing that is like that as well, I was going to say Fatal's there, you have a lady. I honestly thought Scott was in a Sauber. I know he was in another car the weekend before, but Rick Ping shoots up to 4th place. He gets It's Me, but he's on the Ultra Softs doing it compared to the mediums of what It's Me did. I thought my phone just died as well. So everything running out of battery. Anyway, I should plug that in. But we're not going to plug it in because I should be focused on the race. I was just checking the live stream. You know, everything like that. After that, who should we keep an eye on? We have Sterling West at an 11th. Running out of breath for a second. I'm practicing for something else in real life, so I don't have the best of breath. I did have some water before, like I keep mentioning before every race. Keep saying, oh, I need to have some water before we actually start these things, and I keep saying it and it never happens until today. Another battery level low notification. And another one. Okay, we're gonna leave the controller alone. Leave the controller alone. I'll figure it out. Leave it alone. There you go. The notifications are away. I apologize. Nothing I can really do about my controller, but Sterling West, 3rd fastest. How many laps? I mean, it only says 1 lap, and I'm pretty sure he's been out there for a long time on those soft tires. I'm pretty sure, laps counted, most likely. But again, I think it just goes to show that he was out there earlier, did not have the pace. He went out there again, and he jumped up to 1.5 seconds behind Surface. Really impressive because It's Me's usually one to beat, and this time around it's Surface. And I would say Surface is usually on the pace of Speedsta and Sterling West, and here he is. I know they're on different compounds and at different levels of grip on the track, and now the track is starting to get more sunny and could have more grip later on in the end of qualifying, and that's exactly what it is. But again, it's just impressive to see Surface up there on pole position, but yet that is with 4 minutes remaining. He may not even finish there with 4 minutes remaining, so we will wait and see if he can win pole position with 4 minutes remaining. Let me switch R2. There you go, down to Rick Ping. So again, during the race, like I said, I am having battery issues with my controller. So if I miss a battle, yeah, I don't want to spaz my controller, like pick it up, rip it out of my hands for a split second, and then the battery dies. I don't want to. I'm not going to be like that. So if a battle happens, I'll try and get to it as quickly as I can without unplugging my controller, because I think that's probably one of the issues, the cord on the end or the outlet, it's just broken. I think that's the problem. So I'm going to, again, if I see a battle or a close gap, I'll try and get to it, but if not, that's going to be a shame. But again, I'm fortunate that my controller is working for today. Because I was doing fun races yesterday before I did a league race, and it just kept dying on me. So again, incredibly thankful that it still works, but while we talk about that, who should we keep an eye on right now? So It's Me is out on these soft tires, like we mentioned before and predicted. It's Me has switched to the soft tires. Like I said, he could be overconfident, switch to the soft tires, go for a top 5, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. He knows he's not going to get pole position on those tires, or maybe he can. We will see. The time to beat is a 1:10.5. Maybe he believes he can do it. He's getting the toe off of his teammate, Jack, so he definitely does have some sort of advantage there. Locks up the tire, slides. He barely misses the apex, but the run is just enough where he uses the runoff curb. So again, he's going to head down the straight, the right little kink, the area that Massa was told to let by Fernando. And now the left-hander locking up those the left-hand side tires, swinging the car back to the right-hand side as he approaches the stadium section in Sector 3. He'll approach the left-hand side and swoop in right-hand side to the left-hand side, back to the right-hand side. It'll be down to It's Me to put this car in the front row, maybe even on pole position on these soft tires. The majority of the field is on the soft tires as we speak, so maybe the Ultras are not the way to go, but through the final corner, he's going to get the run up to the line. We'll see if this is going to be good for pole position, and it is front row material, but not material for pole position, and he's going to back off knowing that he cannot improve upon that lap, and definitely wanted to get out of the way for his teammate as well. So It's Me a blistering lap time. And let's look with Surface now. He did feel the threat to it. He switched to the Ultras again. So again, I honestly feel like if you have a 1.1 second gap from first to second, you should feel like, okay, I don't even have to go out there, waste track time, waste another set of Ultra Softs. Like, if I were Surface, I would not be out on that track, because knowing that, I mean, yeah, you could say he did it on the soft tires, and that's why the gap is so big, but at the same time, you could be like, well, at least we'd get a front row start. I don't think it'd be worth it to go on the end and waste another pair of Ultras, but someone slid up. I think that was Diego who slid up to third place, and it was third place for the Red Bull driver, running the number 22. Who else can we cover? Fatal is going through the stadium section. Can he improve upon his lap? That's the question. King MJ slipped to third, but we're looking with Fatal. What does it look? Final corner. Can he get the run? Uses just enough curb. There's a slow Toro Rosso that may slow him down. And it does. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Was that It's Me or Jack? No, that's Jack, the league owner. He was in the way of Fatal on his lap. So very interesting as we come to the end of qualifying with 10 seconds remaining. King MJ knows he's not going to improve. Why don't we look with Rick Ping, because he is on the Ultras. He's going for a flyer. He may slide into the top 5. That is the assumption. He has not set a lap on these tires yet. Surface does retire, so he is confident in his ability with that time with a 1:10.5. Well, everyone else has 1:11s. We will see if this lap can break into the top 5 for Rick Ping. Final corner for the Renault. Run up to the line, and it will be 7th. He does jump up 1 spot and a couple tenths gained, but no top 5, and he'll have to live with it. Here's Sterling West coming to the end of his lap time. Odom slides into 2nd place, 6 tenths off of Surface's time. It's Me is in 3rd, 4th King MJ in the pits, 5th is down to Diego, and it's also down to Sterling West. Why don't we ride on board as we come to the 2 final corners of this track, the right-hander. Then it's another right-hander running wide. He'll run wide again. Oh, this is going to cost him. He spins off the final corner. Sterling West, Ricky Bobby style, backwards crossing the line. And that'll be a disappointing end to qualifying. He definitely had the pace, and he pushed the car on the limits. Luckily, nothing else damaged on the car. Luckily, no tires, nothing. It may be a flat spot, but other than that, maybe the soul heartbroken after he could not get in that lap time. So that should be the end of qualifying. Surface comes out on top with the lap he set. 12 minutes remaining in qualifying, and it stood. For the first time, a qualifying time has stood throughout the entire session. And the AI just crashes. Never mind. The tire set is now no longer good. So I just jinxed him. So that's good. So that brings the end to qualifying. And what to talk about? What a way to end qualifying indeed. Turning this into an ASMR video. What a way. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go down to the qualifying rundown. Once this game loads for Odoms and Scott and Lorenzo. Come on, Lorenzo. We're just waiting on you. There you go. So here is the qualifying rundown. The Greek-American driver, that's the Greek flag, I am correct. The Greek-American driver Surface, then it's Odoms, the Irish-American, then it's Me, King MJ, Diego, Fatal, Sterling West, Rick Ping, Scott, Elite Lorenzo rounds out the top 10, so he was able to get a top 10. After that, it is John McClane, barely outside of the top 10, and 11th. After that is Banana, Gordo, a lady, the Uruguay driver, then Jack, rounding out the grid. So even when he held up a lady, you would think that he may have a penalty due to holding him up. I'm not entirely sure, but there is some friction in that last row between a lady and Jack, the two that held each other up on qualifying. So that would be very, very interesting to say or see. So we may want to keep an eye on the back row of this grid. Not too happy with each other, not too pleased. So as we wait for this race to get started, so why don't I choose my driver to win this race? You know, I could go out and say the pole sitter, but you could also go out and say Odoms because he's in the front row, or maybe even it's me because he has like 4 wins this season, 4 or 5 something wins. I think he has 5 wins because Diego has 1 and so does Odoms. Let me check. I want to make sure I get my stats right. So let me scroll on down. Let me check the DM, the ILR Americas chat. So yeah, 5 wins. 4. 4 wins, because yeah, we've only done 6 races so far. 4 of them going to It's Me, 1 going to Diego, and 1 going to Odoms, and that was Silverstone. Speeds is second in points. However, that gap between them is 9 points, and with Speedsa not showing up today, Odoms could slide up to 3rd in the championship. And did I lag out of the lobby? Did I lag out of the lobby? That is a question we present with ourselves, because I don't see anything. I can't pause. I can't pause. Hold up as we try and figure this out. Please tell me I'm not the only one stuck. Okay, not just me. Everyone's frozen. In the meantime, let's talk about how John Girard won the Indy 500. That's just a joke. Simon Pagenaud looks like John Girard. Anyway, if anyone has questions down below, why don't you comment them? Because this is the perfect time, to sort everything out. Okay, this is basically down to someone that is... Okay, Jack has left the session. I'm pretty sure we are restarting. I'm happy it's not a me issue, because it usually is. It usually is. So, this is interesting. Fatal is apparently sitting on the straight, and we are waiting to see who is holding us up. This is amusing. I love the comments on below. It says, I'm a lady, I'm stuck. And he says it, I don't know why he says it. That's not a word. Stuck is not a word. Yeah, we're stuck here. And we have a good view of the paddock, or at least the pits. And what a race we are waiting for. Look at all those eager fans to just see those cars parked. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got something with half the grid, and we're green, and we finally got it going. So, this is not official. While everyone... Oh, my goodness. They all crash off the start. So, they all know that, yes, okay, migrating host, everyone's leaving. We're gonna try this thing again. That is unfortunate. Because we had 4 or 5 people leave before we finally got it. We were trying to figure out who it was for. I don't even have an invite yet. And it's a shame. Hopefully everybody remembers where they qualified, because I honestly do not want to do another qualifying. If you listen to the interview of One Mic, One Wheel, one thing I said I hated about about league racing was qualifying. I do not like qualifying. So hopefully we use the grid editor. Okay, so they're restarting the lobby. You have to start the race on tires. You qualified on normal rules for people outside the top 10. Okay. Time to leave. Quit the main menu. Yes, please. So this is what happens, or this is what should not happen in a league. Well, I wouldn't say in a league, just in a league race in general. What everybody hopes that doesn't happen. It's happened to me before, where the lobby has a mess up and it does not do what it should be doing. So while we join the new lobby, I'm still with you, don't worry, you see a blue screen. I usually restart my internet before I join each lobby, but again, we're not going to be able to unless the stream crashes. So we're going to join, and nobody's name is there. That is wonderful. That is wonderful indeed. But I can tell that is Surface, that is someone, Scott maybe, the Red Bull, is that Banana or Diego? I can't tell after that. That is King MJ, that is down here Rick Ping? I'm still trying to remember the nationalities. That's Jack, because he's a lobby host. After that, you have Gordo, and then Sterling West. Is that Diego? Okay, that's Diego. That's Diego. So up here, that must be Banana. It's me, because he doesn't have the flag. That's Odoms. I'm trying to figure everyone out here, because we have the same glitch that has happened previously. My controller is messing up here. It's scrolling to the left. So I'm trying to figure everyone's name out. But yeah, this F1 does have a glitch from time to time where it does not show the usernames. So let us just remember how we're going to remember everyone by. We see a Ferrari. We see, we're going to have to try and predict who's who. I'm going to have to remember everyone by their number. But I don't know whose number is who. I know Odoms is 86, I think. That's the only one I remember. I know Speeds is 25, but he's not even racing. So that doesn't help either. So trying to remember these drivers is going to be trying to, find a nail in a haystack at this point. So while we restart, any questions, comment down below. Okay, Banana is the Mexican Red Bull. I'm trying to figure everyone out here. So hopefully when we switch, it shows the nationality. Hopefully we can remember everyone by that. There you go. I can see the usernames now. Thank you, game. So we have 17 players in the lobby, 15 that are racing. Hold up. CX just joined. CX wasn't in the original lobby. He's going to have to start in the rear. Either that or he's not going to start at all, but we'll have 16 drivers today. I mean, I'm ready to go when you guys are. I remember back in F1 2016, oh, the glory days of F1 2016, where we were halfway through a race, and it crashed. The lobby crashed, everybody disconnected, and there was no grid editor back then, so we had to do an entire length of qualifying, then the entire race again, and we did not finish till 2 hours after that the race started from. So that was interesting. Luckily for the innovations that this game does have, one of the cool things one of the few cool things this game has, is the grid editor. So you can choose wherever people start. So in a situation like this, in a league race where the lobby crashes, you don't even have to do qualifying, and most games don't even have this. So props to Codemasters. This is a really good idea, and in a situation like this, it's really good to have a grid editor, indeed. So we will try and get everything sorted. And momentarily, why don't we talk about today's race? I'm going to do a race review of Monaco. Spoiler alert, it wasn't much of a race. Just saying it right now. Some people say best race of the season, and Bahrain's like, am I a joke to you? No. But yeah, today's race was interesting. Wasn't I don't know. I don't know how to say it. The racing this season hasn't been great. There has been more overtakes. I think it's just the camera's not showing it, because there's been so many situations where it's like, oh, that race is boring, and then next thing you know, a day after the race, there was this onboard video that I didn't see, and then there's like, oh, there was this racing going on that they didn't show. Like today, I had no clue. I probably wasn't paying attention, but in the Monaco race, Perez almost hit 2 marshals out of the pits. They showed the marshals, but they didn't show the onboard view of Perez speeding up out of the pits and then barely missing the marshals. So they didn't cover, from what I remember, they didn't cover that. Then there's some other battles with, Giovinazzi at China. Then there's Sainz at one race this season that they didn't show either. So again, I think it just goes down to the covering the race. But Monaco is just, you're not going to see much overtaking. The cars are too wide. The track is too narrow. Next thing you know, it's going to be single file throughout. And Verstappen tried to pull off an overtake when he was a tad bit too far back. I feel like if he waited to the last lap, he could have gotten an on-track P1, but with the penalty to P4. Maybe even P3 if something happened. But Verstappen made the race interesting. Also, everybody knows I'm a Gio fan. So what happened today when he got that 10-second penalty, I'm like, well, he did deserve it. He did cause a sort of pile up for a split second. If you missed the F2 race, I think it was Friday or Saturday, Mick Schumacher ended up running into Tatiana Calderon, and yeah, everybody that is a Schumacher fan was saying, oh, it's Calderon's fault because she came down. But the same exact thing happened today. Both of them ended up getting penalties. So that got sorted out. Verstappen did have a 5-second penalty for unsafe release. I'm just trying to summarize today's Monaco race for you guys before we actually start this one. Then we can choose who I believe is going to win today's race. I have a pick who's going to win today's race, and that's going to be Surface. Surface has shown the speed. He's hit the surface, and he's been going with that silver arrow, and he's finally put that thing on pole position like I knew he could. So I'm really excited to see what he can do today in that car. So now that he starts on pole position, and trying to read the comments, seeing everything that's going on. Okay. Nothing is really happening. So while that happened, I got a glimpse of Indy. Simon Pagenaud led more than half of the 200 laps that happened at Indy. He ended up winning because of a late race crash between F1's very own past F1 driver of Bourdais and Graham Rahal colliding. That caused a red flag with 20 to go. They went racing with 13 to go. Pagenaud backed off and gave the lead to Rossi because he was low on fuel, but because of the red flag and the caution, he was able to save just enough fuel for the end, and they were ping-ponging back and forth, as Vettel would say, between the lead and second place, and it was Pagenaud who hung on to the end and won the race. So those are the two race recaps that we have today. If we had more time to do the Formula E recap, but that's enough of real life. Let's get back to Inside Line Racing. We are moments away from the start of today's German Grand Prix in the Hockenheim Ring, and I'm finally happy to get this thing going. I've been looking forward to it. And is there a message? Just keep it ticking. Good. I didn't restart it regardless, so we're fine. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to restart my game because I thought I crashed, but we're... Okay, good. People are readying up. I'm just noticing now there's a few names that did join a little bit late. There's CX in there. There's Keenan What? JP Montoya, no more. It's now Kenan Montoya. It's not Keenan because there's one E in there, not two, so... We'll continue calling him Montoya. I assume that's JP Montoya. Maybe he changed his username. Maybe he's a little late to the party on changing usernames. Maybe. But we have 17 for today instead of 15, so that is always the merrier. And now the formation lap, and like I said, it's either going to be It's Me or Surface. I feel like Odoms has already got his win. I feel like, despite that second place run, I feel like Odoms may have a problem today, or maybe feeling punched out. I don't know, that's just a prediction from me, but I remember talking to Odoms yesterday, and he didn't have the best motivation going into some of these races, knowing that his internet may just go kapoof through the middle of the race. So again, I'm not entirely sure. We'll see him finish with how his internet is going, or just how in general this game and, you know, his journey on F1 2018 has been going. But pole position for Surface, and he has been absolutely charging. Every time I get on PS4, I go through my friends list, I always see Surface on F1 practicing. He's always been practicing with Spietza as well. Those two are good friends. So now that Spietza can't show up here today, I feel like he's just going to go out on his own. He's going to have his own set of mind. He's going to be quiet in a party, not talking to anyone. He's going to go out and win this race. That's my prediction. Odoms, I feel like, may get a podium or just may retire. Battery level low. We have It's Me in third place, who's going to go 3 wide. It's Me, I feel like he's going to have a strong run, but I don't think... Oh my goodness, one car is off. That is Odoms. Nope, it's Kingham Che. But yeah, I feel like It's Me is going to have a stellar performance. I don't think he's going to be able to get close enough to Surface. I feel like Surface is going to dominate, or I wouldn't say dominate, just hold the lead for the majority of this race, but not by much over It's Me. That's my prediction. After that, you have Fatal, Sterling West, Rick Ping, Scott, Elite Lorenzo. So you have the Ferraris, you have the Renaults, you have a Sauber. After that, you have the Haas driver of John McClane, then Banana, Gordo, a Lady, CX, Jack, and Montoya. So so now that we're gonna get this thing going, and interesting enough, CX starts in front of Jack, and CX wasn't even here for the race start. So I'm gonna set my controller down so my battery level thing stops popping up at the top left, because my controller running low on batteries, not ideal, so we're going to get to the race start, and here we go for the German Grand Prix here in Hockenheim. It's going to be a 34-lap fest of racing, and we're going to see the 5 red lights, and we are green for the German Grand Prix, and it's a blistering start from Surface. He clears the Pink Panther by turn 1. In the background, you can see 2 wide, 3 wide between the cars, and already down the straight, I'm not sure if there's an incident. I can see John McClane falling back. Was there an incident? And no incident at all. Will go through the field. And everybody looks to be getting away clean, and Surface pulling away at the beginning. I'm only going to be using L2 for this, so here we go. We're going to see 3 wide. Heading up towards the hairpin. They went through the German version of the Parabolica, and now it's towards the hairpin. They're going to be 3 wide in this hairpin. However, the Haas is going to get shoved wide. That's John McClane. McClane goes down to last place in this one. He may have a problem with that car, and the Williams going to have a go at the McLaren, who the McLaren is off the track, and that is CX, and CX is going to have a go with the lady's off the track, and the lady's going to hang on to the inside of this corner, runs very wide, and that means Montoya is going to have a go at him at the next part of the track. Headed up further to the field, you have Jack. Jack is involved in a dust and rub, and this time he's going to get shoved a tad bit wide. Mercedes is off as well. That was Gordo. Gordo maintains that gap, and now you can see through the field. I don't want to unplug my controller at all, but I'm very tempted to, and it may die, so we're just going to stick right with it. Surface hanging on to an almost 1-second lead on the opening lap of today's race. So he is pulling away at an alarming rate of 1 lap done. So through the Parabolica they go, and like I mentioned, there's 2 Parabolicas this season. There's the one in Italy through the final corner, and then you have the slight left-hander DRS straight that's headed up towards the hairpin here, which not many people do know. You can see the the Renault of Rick Ping in the background going off. He's going to be with Fatal. He may have a go with Fatal. He's defending, but not going to go for it. It's only lap 2. He knows better. So Fatal hangs on to P6 and will carry on forward. Battle between Montoya and Banana. And you can see single file. He was able to get by, and looks to be a lady, actually. One car does hang on. I feel like there's a problem with Banana because he's falling it back, and a lady's going to be right on his tail here. So while we stay close enough, it's a 3-second penalty for Surface already with 3 laps. He has 3 seconds of penalties. So not ideal for the Greek-American leading this race. In a battle for what it seems to be for the race lead, Odoms gets by, and oh, he gets hit. That's the end plate of It's Me. It's gone off the car. The Toro Rosso, that is a right front end plate you can see is now gone off the car. And that's definitely going to affect the aero damage on It's Me. Will he have to pit? Probably not, but that could also be a penalty because it costed some time to Surface. And now Odoms does take the lead in today's race. Can I hold the controller? Can I hold the controller without getting a... We'll see if this works. So It's Me's in 3rd. 4th is... Yep, oh, never mind. Not going to bother. Got a battery low level notification. Not going to bother with this. So here we go through the final corner. Diego is close, but not going to be able to do it. Surface in the pits. So does he have rear end damage? I'm not entirely sure. Will they repair the front wing? No, they won't. I think it's just an early pit stop. Lap 4. Yellow wall tires on for Surface. So why don't we switch the detail to the tires that they are on. And he'll be out of the pits. That is his teammate of Gordo behind. He gets out right in front of the Mercedes. But he's so close, he hangs on through. DRS is open for Gordo, and it's also open for John McClane as well. You can see right behind is the teammate of him. Will he have a go? to the outside, and he'll take the position away on old tires. Both of them locking up, and the hairpin they go. One gets shoved wide. He shoves his own teammate off the track to maintain 14th, and it's gone wrong for LR Surface with a penalty and also having to pit on lap 4. So keep with Surface now. Surface is going to stay with. And while that, let's go up through the field. There is battle for P3. As actually, It's Me dives into the pits with aero damage. Will they fix the front wing? We'll check with It's Me. In the pits he goes. Wait, did Elite Lorenzo spin? Did Elite Lorenzo spin? I think he did. He spun off the final corner. And he comes so close to hitting. Oh, and he started a stop-go or something. I'm not entirely sure. Elite Lorenzo has now retired from the session. And you can look on that Toro Rosso. That is the end plate there. I'm not entirely sure if it is. We'll have a good view here. But the safety car is out and the end plate is there. So they did fix the front wing. But the safety car came out in the favor of It's Me. This does help him. It also helps guys like Surface. But Elite Lorenzo has retired and left after a spin on lap 5. Our race leader is Odoms. The number 86 Force India. He is trying to go back-to-back, and he does have the pace to do so. So Diego I'm not sure if it is, but into the pits goes Odoms. But Diego was mentioning how the race was forced on dry. So maybe someone saw the weather before we started this session. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the last session they saw it was going to be completely dry throughout, and that's probably what they went with. So that's probably why. But out of the pits, nobody is held up, and it works in the favor. So off the pits he goes. He only falls to 3rd place. Rick Ping takes the lead amazingly. So Rick Ping, for the first time this season, is in the race lead. Who else can we switch to without getting a battery level notification? So John McClane is in the pits. Jack is out. So is Scott. Scott is out. Oh, now Montoya. Oh my goodness. Montoya is out of the race, and it's a penalty for Odoms. A 5-second stop-go penalty. I'm not sure what happened, but for Odoms, 5 seconds of penalties to be served. I'm not sure what happened to Montoya, but this was under the safety car, and our net leader collided with a car not even inside the top 10. Well, he was in the top 10 at the point, but before the safety car, he was not even inside the top 10, and it's amazing that he came up on him. Did he just ram into him? I'm not entirely sure, because I don't see any damage on Odoms' car. I don't see any end plates missing. The side pods look fine. Nothing is scuffed up. So I'm saying maybe he just got alongside of him, and actually, look at the front wing. No, looks fine. The right side looks fine. The left side looks fine. So I'm not sure what happened. Because it said 5-second stop-go for a collision with Kenan Montoya. And when he got the penalty, that's when he retired. So you have to think that because of that collision or some sort of penalty or collision that happened, it's what caused him to retire. I'm not entirely sure. What I could imagine is maybe that they were checking up for the safety car and Montoya ran into the back of Odoms, and what happened there was that he got frustrated with the damage on his front wing, that maybe he retired himself. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. All the end plates are there. I don't see anything scuffed up on his car. This is a good view here. But nothing is scuffed up on the car. And now Odoms knows he has that 5-second stop-go. So it brings up the story of what's going to happen. Warming up their tires like the safety car is going to come in this lap. So we should expect racing at the end of this lap. Going to have to wait till the end of this sector to see what will happen. So while we get ready, are the safety car lights going to shut off? And Odom's almost spun the car. Yep, safety car is in this lap. It is. We're getting ready to go. So why don't we switch up to our leader, Rick Ping. Now, with the safety car rules, what many may not know is that the leader will determine the pace. The leader will determine when to go. So the leader does have the authority in this case. Montoya is still in the lobby, frustrated with what happened. So leader will decide when he wants to go, as long as it is within the safety car line, or, you know, as long as safety car is in the pits by the time he goes. And off the final corner, DRS enabled. He's going to decide to go right now, and we're green. Odoms runs wide off the start, and we're green for the German Grand Prix for the second time today. We'll see if anything happens down in turn 1, running wide. That could have been a warning. Oh, and he's in the wall. Oh, my goodness. On the safety car start, he's out of it. Rick Ping has absolutely gone in the wall on the safety car start as the leader. Oh, my goodness. He just ran wide, and he lost the back end. And there's a retirement on the opening lap. Bananas going side by side with Odoms for second place, while CX has pulled away. We may see 3 wide in the hairpin. We will see Odoms gets by, but is that Surface? It is Surface. He's gained back all the time around the outside of the hairpin. He's made up a lot of time, and there's another spin in the background. I don't know who it is. I think it's me. It's me is involved on that incident in the hairpin. So a huge championship implications going on side by side. Somebody's forced off the track, and that was going to be a lady. It was a Sauber ahead of his teammates, so that is what happened. Surface was able to move up, and now you can ride on board with Sterling West. They're going to try and tack on Odoms. They know he has a penalty, and he cannot hit the Mercedes. Locking up, he may try to dive down, but he's not going to do it. Oh, it's me. He must be frustrated with that. The guys who were running 1-2 in Australia are now running 13-14. There's a pass for a banana and a lady behind him. So, a very interesting start. There was a retirement, there were multiple crashes, and of course penalties gained within that as well. So, while all that goes on, it is only lap 9, and 3 cars are out of this race, making the math to seem 1 retirement per 3 laps. And yes, I know I did math. 9 divided by 3 is 3. But we may see an overtake on the Parabolica. You can see one in the background between the Red Bull and a lady. Whoa, what happened here? I don't even know what happened here. There is a lockup, a broken front wing from somebody. I assume that had to be one of the cars up here. You're going to have to look for end plate damage. I don't see it. Maybe it was on the, maybe even Sterling West. Does he have end plate damage? I don't see it. He is pushing the car to the limit. Maybe, was it Surface? I'm not sure. We got to look for some end plate damage, because there was some front wing that did go on the track. Yeah, I don't see any end plate damage, so it wasn't Surface. But we should also keep an eye on Odoms, because he's on the gearbox of CX as we approach lap 10. A lap or 2 after the safety car. Oh, he's run wide. Will he have a go before turn 1? DRS is now enabled. And we'll see. He slightly cuts the corner. DRS will be able to use it this time. He's not using it. Is DRS broken for Odoms? King MJ. King MJ, here we go. DRS is open. And he'll have DRS this time on the Parabolica and take the lead in the background. You see Sterling West, but it is Odoms on the outside of the hairpin. He does run wide. CX does have the inside. He'll be side by side, but Odoms gets the position. Sterling West gets started in the background. And what a way to take the lead in the hairpin. He does it. Lap 10. Odoms is your new leader, but with a time penalty. Will it be removed? We may not know. So Jack gets by Scott for 9th. For 8th, I should say. I'm not gonna go to that one. I don't want my controller to die, like I keep on mentioning. And hopefully nobody bothers, or nobody's worried that I'm not showing every battle, because I honestly can't. We can look with a lady though. He's on the gearbox of Surface for 4th. As they all weave through the infield section and approach the 2 right-handers, trying to use up as much track limits as possible. It is a lady in 5th, 6 is Fatal. So the Saubers are having a good running today, and CX, 3 seconds of penalties. So the top 2 do have penalties, so it does not matter, but Odoms does have that 5-second penalty. In the background, Banana may have a go on Fatal, but Fatal's going to defend, I assume. Yes, he does. Let's ride on board with a lady. He'll have the DRS. It's also open for Surface, so it is a tug-of-war to see who can get 4th place. Switch to the outside. That is what a lady does. But the gap does close. He may try the switch back and not gonna get it. Should look back with CX. This is a battle for the lead right now. And CX will have the outside. But now they switch back, and they'll be single file, but he's trying to use up as much grass as possible. He may have a go before this right-hander. He may have a go. It is odd to pass here, and he decides not to as they approach the infield section. So both of them using up as much track as possible. Odoms will hang on as he locks up those tires. They are both on the same tires. Don't see what it says on the screen. Look at the detail in the top left. They are both on the medium tires. No matter what color those tires are, they still have the tire glitch here. Lap 12 in Hockenheim, and the action is just getting started. So we'll have it on board with CX here on board the McLaren. The closest we'll ever see McLaren to P2 is this right here. On board, DRS open now. Enabled, but Odoms is far too in front. He can try and get a tow up to... He's trying to use up all the ERS there as well. Gets so close, locking up those tires. Hitting the apex. That was a good corner by CX, but can't get close enough. I feel like the top 4 we've always seen in qualifying in the race, it's always been like CX, Odoms, It's Me, and Surface. Those 4 have always been a threat in these races. So seeing them 1-2 so far is not surprising at all. I mean, Surface is down in 5th, and It's Me down in 13th after that incident. We know he probably will not win today. I mean, luckily he did pit before the safety car, else, you know, he'd be in a different position and it'd just be a mess. Or if he just didn't pit at all during that safety car and he'd have to pit again after making that incident. But that gap is starting to increase, so we'll look on to another battle. Why don't we look with Fatal? He's close. He's close to Surface. And actually, one car's in the pits and it's Sterling West. So Sterling West is in the pits. It's lap 10, or 13, I should say. Can't even read. So if he does have DRS so close to the back end of Silver Arrow, it is going to be Fatal on Surface. DRS is available through the Parabolica. Will he have a go to the inside? Blocking into the outside goes Fatal. Oh, that's going to be 3 wide, but luckily not involved is a lady. And now the Red Bull's so close, that's Banana. Banana's in 6th place. He's there too. So lap 13 now. We keep an eye on this battle. King MJ, 3 seconds of time penalties. So this beautiful helicopter camera trying to use up all of those track limits. Just trying to use up as much track limits as possible. We stay with Fatal because Fatal has a good chance at a battle here. Off the final corner, he gets so close. He's 2/10 close. Can he get him before turn 2? That's the question. Or will he get him in turn 2? He needs a good turn 1. And DRS... Is that a DRS straight? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure it's a short one. But he'll probably get him up through the Parabolica this lap, though, if he sticks with him. And maybe even Banana could get him to him. Not entirely sure. It is a 3/10 gap between Surface and Fatal and Banana. So we could see a 3-way overtake. But closer is Fatal. He's going to try something here. Maybe a dive to the inside. But he thinks better of it and sticks right behind Surface. So while it is lap 14 out of 34... locking up those tires ever so slightly is Surface. Remember, Surface is on the soft tires compared to Fatal is on the medium tires, no matter what the screen tells you. It is what the detail says is accurate. Oh, will he try the outside here? The door does close, but it was open for a brief second as it was Surface who missed the apex. So we'll have to stay with it. It is very, very hard to overtake here. And this is the battle that we are sticking with. It is still a 1-second gap between Odoms and CX. CX is not stopped yet. CX, 3-second time penalty. So this is good for Odoms, who does have 5 seconds of penalties. And now that CX does have to make a pit stop and with that penalty as well. Man, I had to hiccup there. But with that penalty as well, he does have a 1 second advantage, plus 7/10 that he has right now over him. So it does look good for him. We ride on board with Fatal off turn 3. I assume that's turn 3. However, Surface is reeling in a lady while Surface looks to the inside to break up the slipstream. Locking up, he should hit... Oh, he's going to have the inside here, but the exit is going to go to Surface. He had a slight look to the inside, but Surface will get the better of him. It is lap 15 as we head to lap 16. There's a pass. Jack's moved up to 6th. So he gets the better of Banana. That should have been a warning right there, I assume. But getting the position as we are too fascinated with the battle of 4th place between Surface and Fatal. That is something we did miss, and we also see King MJ close. He was close to Banana. I apologize for missing these battles, but again, I cannot use my controller at the same rate as I did early in the season. I have to set it down, and it's hard to switch between drivers. I'm trying to look at the gap between each one. Let's look with Fatal. It's only 1/10 now. Down the straight. Will he have a go this time? That's the question. Right-hander. Will he nail it? He does not use a runoff, and this may be the advantage. He does have the... He did have a slight look. So through the left-hander. I was thinking right-hander, but no, it's my other right. Down the straight and through the parabolica. DRS is open. Fatal is close, 1/10. There'll be 2 moves on this straight, and that is going to be King MJ and Banana, and now it is going to be Fatal and Surface around the outside, not going to be able to get it done. However, Jack is still 6th, King MJ is still 7th, Banana this time is ahead of Scott, and, or I should say, King MJ is ahead of Banana, because Scott was nowhere near this battle. And now that this is happening, Jack is thinking to himself, he has been stuck behind this man for so long. I want a shot at a good battle. I want a shot at some better points. So he's probably thinking, I need to get by him. Whereas Fatal gets a penalty for probably extending the track limits there as we take that right-hander. That's probably where he got it from. But Fatal's probably thinking, man, if I don't pass him long enough, I may even get I may get a penalty like I did just there, I may get another one. Not only that, but I also may get stuck behind and get passed by Jack. I need to do something fast, and that's probably what he's going to try and do. He's going to be a little bit more aggressive because he knows Surface may not have the same amount of time penalties as him, so he's going to have to be desperate here. But a move is going to be for the making. On lap 17, he's so close, and he hits him. No damage, but just goes to show how close he is to passing the Silver Arrow Surface for 3rd. Remember, this is for 3rd now that the teammate of Fatal's pitted of a lady. This time to the inside goes Surface, to the outside is Fatal. Fatal, they may try the switch back, but to the outside the door closes. Again, he's not going to get by. He needs to solidify himself to that inside, or else he is not getting by. He may try a dive this time, but again, thinks better of it. He does not have much time. Imagine if he just stuck to the inside the entire lap just one time. He could have gotten by, maybe gain a couple seconds, maybe not even be in the position to push to get that penalty. That's what I'm thinking. Because he's been stuck behind Surface so long, he's forced himself into a penalty. He's wasted time. It's hurting his car. He's been in so much dirty air. So trying to recover that car from the dirty air, it's going to be more pressure on the tires, more tire wear. Overall, not a good situation for Fatal, to say the least. So Fatal desperately will be trying to get by for 3rd place. Will he have a go this lap? That's what we've been saying for the past 5 laps. He misses the apex this time, and it's a good run for Surface. Maybe not this lap, but maybe even Jack may have a go at Fatal. Maybe he may say, well, if you can't pass him, then I will. It's lap 18, and these guys should be pitting momentarily now. As I say that, Gordo's in the pits. He may have a go. He's going to hold the inside. Will he try the inside again? He's going to go with the outside. This time, he may clear him, and he does. Finally, he's going to have to hold the inside in this hairpin. He maybe thought of backing off of Surface was. He tried to back off to try and retake the lead in the hairpin. Did not do it. So now, Fatal is finally in clean air for the first time today. 18 laps in, he's finally in clear. Oh, and he spun! Fatal spun! He's been hit from Surface! Surface has spun Fatal! Oh my goodness, as soon as he gets by! Oh, Surface not used to being in the dirty air. That's probably what happened. And Jack, surprisingly, I don't want to say this negatively, but Jack is in 3rd place for the first time this season. What a moment to be alive. Jack is in 3rd place, and this is what happens when you are surviving every incident going on in today's race. So now Surface is going to have to pit because he did hit Fatal with that broken front wing. Yeah, that end plate is damaged. They're going to have to repair it. A bad day for Surface goes down to even worse for the Greek American. So we go through the field. Jack is in third. Fourth is King MJ. Fifth, Banana. Sixth, Scott. Seventh is Fatal, and it's just a heartbreak for him. He was having such a good day, and after his retirement in Austria, the bad luck in Silverstone, and today it's just more bad luck. When is it going to be a glorious day for Fatal? We will see that day one day, but it is not today, as he was hit in the rear by Surface. A lady in 8th. So Sauber 7-8 right now. Surprisingly, a lady made the pit stop. It is only 5 seconds behind Fatal due to that incident. So Sterling West is a second behind. And who can we cover? Why don't we cover Diego and John McClane going at it? I saw that one happening. A yellow in Sector 1. Oh, that's CX. CX is out of it. Will, let's get an on-board view. I think that was through Turn 1, because we've already seen a retirement in Sector 1, Turn 1. And it is, the same exact place. You slide that car through Turn 1 so fast, you're going to lose it back, and it pops up out of you. And next thing you know, you're kapoofed out of the race. And honestly, it's just a bummer. That's a second retirement we've seen in Turn 1 today. And actually, maybe even Montoya retired there. I'm not entirely sure, because we did not get replay of that retirement. But it is lap 20 out of 34, solidifying Odom's in the lead. And despite that 5-second stop-go penalty, he will still probably finish ahead of everyone. It's Me had a bad day. Surface had a bad day. CX had a bad day. I mean, and Jack is up there. You'd think a Toro Rosso in second is It's Me, but no, it's going to be Jack. I remember I was joking with Jack last week, teasing him, saying he's a Heikki Kovalainen to Lewis Hamilton of It's Me and everything, and he just laughed it off, saying he doesn't play this game regularly. And now here he is in second place today. He must be having chills go up through his spines right now, honestly. He is not expected to be in this position, and now he's going to have the pressure of King MJ behind him, and we could honestly see a Racing Point Force India 1-2 if Jack makes a mistake today. That is if it happens. So I'm going to say it right now. The top 6 have not made a pit stop in the last 14 to 19 laps. 20-plus laps for Banana right now. He has not pitted at all today, and those medium tires are working wonders for these drivers. And that's why guys like Odoms and Jack are up there where they are for A, avoiding incidents, and B, saving their tires. That's how Odoms won last week. And actually, do we see rain? It's going to rain. It's raining. It is raining. We are going to see rain. The rain that never hit Indianapolis. The rain that never hit Monaco. It's here. I am actually happy, because the rain that supposedly was going to hit Monaco traveled to Hockenheim instead. So we're going to see some rain racing today, and it is going to spice up the action if we didn't have enough already. So it is lap 21 out of 34. I am thrilled to see rain, and I'm actually in a good mood. And actually, surprisingly, the gap between Jack and Odoms was coming down. I mean, they did pit on the same lap, but throughout the season, the rivalry that everyone needs, it's Jack versus Odoms, and Odoms is just non-existent in this gap. Jack has been slicing away at the gap, surprisingly, despite being slower than Odoms throughout the entire season. So maybe he's been saving his tires or his fuel, I'm not entirely sure. But within the next couple of laps, these guys are going to have to switch to intermediate tires, because you can see even Odoms there, or I should say King MJ, slipping through that final corner. You're going to have to look through Turn 1 as well. Turn 1 was tricky in the slick tires, and it is definitely going to be very, very tricky on dry tires on a wet track. You're going to have to look ahead to Turn 1. Fatal made a move, or a lady, I suppose that was Team Orders. Fatal, the slower car, letting by a lady, going for constructors. And yeah, none of these drivers are hitting the apexes. Scott has moved up. He's moved up. Banana is struggling on these conditions. So this is where the medium tires are going to prevail against the soft tires. And you saw it here, both the medium tires, and some contact, but lap 22 out of 34. Again, a lap or two next. They should be pitting for the intermediate tires. Drake taking on board. The weather's not that bad, but if it keeps raining like this, the light rain is going to accumulate to some puddles, some rain on the track, and some spray. And you can already see the spray starting to form in Odoms. We're going to have to keep an eye on Turn 1. I'd love to if we had a second camera angle, but you can see the lights now. I didn't even realize that the start straight had a light there for the DHL signboard, but it does. So let's go to the field. Who are we going to see? Let's look with Diego on board. I am super excited for this rain. First time we've seen rain this season, and it is going to be a thriller indeed. Jack, a 3-second time penalty. And here's It's Me in 9th place. Imagine if It's Me wins this race. You know, the look that Hamilton has, it could carry over for It's Me. So I would not be surprised at all if it did happen. So while this does unravel in front of us, someone told me to relax. I'm excited. This is the rain that we were missing from Indianapolis and Monaco. And plus, trying to cover it by myself is not really the most exciting thing, but there's some contact off the hairpin. They beat and they bang like stock cars, and going at it for 5th place, a lady gets by, so a lady has really surged through the field on those newer soft tires. So while he's in 5th place, he is already starting to put up a good gap between himself and Banana. And actually, I'd like to look with... Oh, that's one car off. That's the Red Bull. And trying to swerve to save it without spinning himself was Sterling West. And Odom's another penalty. So that adds up to 8 seconds of penalties today. So 8 seconds of penalties with 11 laps to go. Oh, and they're finally making their pit stops. That is King MJ in the pits with Jack. Many others follow suit. That is Scott, a lady. Sterling West stays out because Scott's in the pits. So surprisingly, our race leader does not pit. And actually, Odoms runs wide in the hairpin, so he does go for a spin while these guys are switching for intermediate tires. So the two that stayed out are Sterling West and Odoms. So it seems to be Sterling West. He's not going to have the best of luck as his teammate pitted. I honestly feel like a double stack would have been better to stay out than to stay out. But here we go. We have Odoms on the medium tires. Yep, 18-lap-old medium tires and trenching conditions. We'll see if this does determine the race because, again, staying out an extra lap, I'm not sure why he would, but he's definitely going to have to pit this lap. You can see the spray from those slick tires and Tokyo drift through the stadium section, and it's putting on a good show for the fans. So 11 laps to go. We head to 10 laps, and he's going to come in. Finally, he pits for the intermediates, and I assume Sterling West will do the same. And Sterling West did spin in the stadium section, and I did forget to cover it, but Jack has fallen victim to King MJ, who has taken the spot ahead of him, so we do have a Force India 1-2. Odoms is still in the pits, serving that stop-go. MJ's through the final corner. Who's going to take the lead in this race? Odoms is away. Will it be MJ? And it will be MJ. They're going to be wheel-to-wheel out of turn 1, but MJ takes the lead because if you remember, Odoms had that 5-second stop-go penalty, and they applied that stop-go there, so he only has 3 seconds of penalties left. Now, and he's also behind his teammate. That was crucial. If only he pitted a lap earlier, we could have seen Odom still in the lead, but he pitted a lap too late, and it is just too late to cover over, and looks to be Odoms in second. It's a shame. Odoms could have had the lead if he pitted a lap earlier. So going to the field, nobody's really close to each other. I mean, we do have a lady, but he's 7/10 behind Scott, but he's still nowhere close to make an overtake. So while we get this, a lady is the closest one to someone on track. We could say Diego as well. Yeah, why don't we stick with Diego? He's close to Sterling West. So a lady in P5. You can see the Red Bull in the background of Banana. He just ran wide. And we honestly thought we were going to see Odoms' second one of the season. And a surprising thing, Odoms pits a lap too late, allowing MJ to pit first. And that was the difference between first and second between the two. It's Me moves up to 9th place ahead of Surface. These two definitely have been going at it in this entire race. And honestly, when we say It's Me and Surface should have been battling this race, we would have assumed for first or second or third, not for 9th or 10th. That's the thing. We thought that they'd be battling for podium position, not for 1 to 2 points. But here they are with should say 9 laps to go, battling for what it seems to be 1 to 2 points, and not the best race for them indeed, but it is a bummer that they did fall. So while we scroll through the drivers, we can look with Diego. He's reeling in Sterling West. Sterling West may fall victim. These two have gone at it the entire race, believe it or not. If I didn't cover that enough, is Diego and Sterling West. Sterling West has gone at it with the Red Bulls entirely. I'm not even sure, because he did battle with Banana earlier in this race, and now he's going at it with Diego, and well, he is trying to stay ahead of both, but right now he's in a Red Bull sandwich, and the meat is the Ferrari, so he is in between that one. 9 laps to go, coming to 8 laps to go, I assume. Yep, 8 laps to go. The gap is 1.5 seconds, and I do not see Odoms gaining. I feel like, just in general, the wet conditions are not the best for any average pad user, and most of these guys do run on control or on the wheel. So, as I say that, he did chip out 3/10, but still, I don't see him passing him and getting ahead by 3 seconds. That's the problem that Odoms does fall in right now. I'm not sure if King MJ has a penalty either. I wasn't paying attention to that. But it's very interesting. But also, you have to realize that the stop-go that Odoms did serve, they may take away 5 seconds from the race time. Because if you remember, maybe he was by accident, I'm not entirely sure, could go down to the stewards because he did serve a stop-go penalty instead of that time being added on. So easily they could just take away 5 seconds and the net winner could be Odoms. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it's down to for time penalties. As the rain continues to fall harder, it's a question whether or not we'll need full wets in this session, but as it stands right now, it is intermediates for the time being. We should look with Banana. He's still so close to a lady, believe it or not. And they're starting to reel in each other. Sterling West had a spin, because he's now roughly 6 seconds behind Banana. So as he triggers that car through the 2 right-handers in the final part of the track, he is reeling in a lady for that top 5 position. And he should be able to make a move, at least on the Parabolica. No DRS is enabled because A, it's raining, and B, yeah, it's just raining. So as he runs wide, he misses the apex there in turn 2. Should have him up through the Parabolica. We'll take an onboarded Banana. A lady was going a tad bit defensive. Will he try some late braking? He will, but that's to the outside. May try switchback. Does, but won't be able to get it. So Banana is sticking to the line right behind a lady. As the rain still falls, almost hitting the Sauber. He does run wide, and it will cost him roughly a second in time to a lady. So as we head to the end of today's race, and roughly, it could have been right about now, but we did have to restart the lobby like we mentioned. Did not expect rain in this one. And Banana is going to try and reel in a lady once more. So with only a couple laps remaining, should be 6 laps, I assume. Up 6 laps to go in today's German Grand Prix. And actually, it is a penalty for Scott. And also, I should mention, the gap between Odoms and King MJ is falling down. But it could be very much today like it was in the Monaco Grand Prix, where the car in second had a time penalty. So despite even attempting an overtake, he knows he probably will not win. And it could also be a Force India one, too. I was going to say Racing Point, but again, it doesn't really matter at this point. Jack is 5 seconds behind, but like I mentioned, Jack does have a 3-second time penalty. Odoms has 6 seconds of penalties, I'm not sure. But he also had that 5-second stop-go, which I'm not even sure he earned. So I'm not even sure how many penalties Odoms is going to finish with, but we do know that King MJ has been clean throughout most of the session. He's luckily taken the lead by pitting at the right time, and he's ahead of his teammate now, but not by much as the gap does close. We'll ride on board with our second-place man of Odoms. So through the final corner, does gain a lot, but that's because he did run a tad bit wide. Lap 30 out of 34, 5 laps to go. Will he try a move, or will teammates be friends? We will see. Turn 2, King MJ runs a tad bit wide. He may try and get the switchback, hits both racing lines. No DRS here, but he can put it into overtake mode. Or hot lap, I should say. To the inside of the Parabolica, he goes, which will set him up for the outside in the hairpin. 1-2, Force India. Will it last? Will they collide? Through the hairpin they go. Around the outside, finds the grip around the outside, and Odoms retakes the lead on track. What a move. You see, you know, it amazes me. I know that there's more grip on the outside, but I did not assume him to pull around the outside like that and find the grip to just pull on through and take the lead. That was amazing right there. Good stuff from Odoms. Now his next job is to pull off that gap, and as you can see, he's already doing that. It is 8/10 with roughly 4 to 5 laps to go. And we could look with Banana and a lady. That gap is coming down as well. It is half a second, and the gap between a lady and Scott is around a second, 8/10 or so, around that. So King MJ, 3-second time penalty. This is everything that Odoms wants to see. We will see if he can win this race. That is a shame. I mean, now it is 1.3 seconds, so he is making the time necessary to just pull away from King MJ. And he's done that so far. 4 laps to go. We'll see if Banana can pull off a move on a lady. He's just way too far back. Every time that he should get close to him, he just pulls away. I feel like the straight line speed is not there, because through the corners, he gains on a lady, but on the straights or on the corner of the exits, it's just on the exits of the corners, he pulls away. And when I say he, I'm referring to a lady. Just not enough straight line speed for Banana to stick with the lady. He needs to get close enough so when he opens DRS, he's close enough, and as that back end slides through that right-hander, it's just, I don't know. Banana just needs to find more straight line speed in order to, and when I say that, he gets a time penalty for running wide. But the gap now is 2 seconds for King MJ, and he's just falling back. I feel like those tires are shot. I mean, pitting a lap early, I don't think could have done it because everyone else pitted a lap early. And Surface, 3 seconds of time penalties. Does not matter. He's in 10th place. We should look with Sterling West, who's on the inside of the Red Bull in turn 1. He did have a go and decided better of it. 3 seconds for Diego in the background for running wide. Will he have a go at the inside this time? No, he will not. So 3 laps to go. He may try and get him off the exit of 3. Yeah, he'll try the outside, which is the inside in the hairpin. Sterling West knows what line to take, and actually that other Red Bull of Diego, will he try? But braking so late. Will he run wide? He does lock up the fronts, but will stay on track for P6. Amazingly, he does hang on. A yellow in Sector 2. Oh, that's Fatal. Fatal was having his bad day just went to worse for him, and that was just not ideal at all. But as now Odoms holds the lead, he approaches 2 to go. He could actually win this thing on track. Now, it's believable now. He could win this thing on track with penalties as well. The gap now is up to roughly 4 seconds. And Odoms has been on command the entire race weekend, taking the lead early on and not looking back. He did pit a lap late, and that could have been his fault, but regardless, he makes up for it. He makes up for it for his team, and he's able to retake the lead. But actually, now that I think about it, if they double stacked, King MJ would have fallen to maybe 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th, but if they allowed King MJ to pit and then Odoms pit a lap later, Odoms would be P2. He'd overtake King MJ to solidify that 1-2. So I think for team-wise in general, I think they did a good idea of pitting when they did. There's a battle for P5. Running wide is a lady. Sterling West retakes P5. And is able to get a lady for P5, so 10 points in the bag for that Ferrari. So P4, P5, Tifosi must be proud with how they're running today. But like I'm saying, if Odom's pitted when he should have, and King MJ double-stacked, he would have fallen back. If King MJ pitted a lap later, he would have lost so much time. He would have been 5th or 6th. So I think for the team overall standings, pitting when they did for both drivers was ideal, because this allowed them to get a 1-2 as we approach the final lap. And Odom's gained 1 second over King MJ that lap, so bring it up to 6 seconds roughly, and Odom should comfortably win this race, you know, which is a shocker. Jack could get a podium too. I mean, the gap is only 1 second behind, but my controller's disconnected. Let me... I knew it would happen. My controller disconnected. Might as well... Hopefully... On the last lap, we're going to hold the controller. Hopefully nothing happens. On the last lap, I did not expect my controller to die twice. It was lasting the entire race weekend until this. But final lap now for Odom. So we're just going to end the stream quickly after the race ends. And I'm sorry for the left-hand notifications. It's just... or you're going to have to live with it. I am sorry. But as we approach the final 2 corners, final sector, I should say, Odom's 6.6 seconds. What a masterclass it is for Odoms to pull off that gap, and he is able to actually... he's slowing down. What is he? He's slowing down. I'm not... does he have a puncture? I'm not sure. I think he's giving the win to King MJ. Final corner, he's going to let his teammate by. King MJ wins in Austria. What on earth did I just see? What just happened? Odom slowed down to let him by. And Jack finishes in 3rd. Sterling West gets P3. What in Austria 2002 did I just see? He tried to let him by, tried to let him win. He forgot that he had time penalties too. Odom still wins this race. What just happened? It's regardless of Force India 1-2. I'm not sure if he was trying to let him win or not. Did he run? I think he could have run out of fuel as well. But regardless, it's a Force India 1-2. Controversially, 1-2 for Force India. Sterling West, out of all of that, gets P3. I'm not sure if Odoms is trying to win that race or get second. I'm not entirely sure if he was even trying to win. All I saw was that car slowing down. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he had a puncture, he was out of fuel, or if he's trying to let his teammate by. I knew that he pulled to the inside. Maybe trying to let him by. I'm not entirely sure, but what a race. What a sort of finish. Another good finish we've seen today. That's all that matters. And they show the flag for the Greek driver of... Is that King MJ? Is that the right flag? Okay, it is the right flag. Yeah, yes. The Israeli flag for King MJ in second. So, as we approach the sunny finishing Hockenheim, I did not even know King MJ had 9 seconds of penalties. I did not even know that. Sterling West finished in 3rd, clean race. A lady P4, clean race. P5 Scott, P6 Jack. Oh, what a shame for Jack. He was on track. He could have finished 3rd, but that was not the case today. Still a good race indeed for Jack. Finishing P6. P7 Diego, P8 Banana, P9 It's Me. So 2 points to the championship leader. While Diego Diego picked up 6 points, so not much to do when the championship leader is present inside the race. 11th, John McClane. Oh, he was so close to his first points of the season. And then it is fatal. P12, P13, Gordo, P14, CX, P15, Rick Ping, 16, and downwards. But I would have to say my driver of the day is Odoms. It's easy to say the race winner is the driver of the day with equal cars, but today, surging through the field, after making a mistake, I wouldn't say a mistake, but a strategical move to pit a lap later to solidify Force India 1-2. He's able to overcome that, retake or overtake him and retake the position and win the race despite running out of fuel at the end. It is still Odoms who comes out on top. I'm not surprised by this at all. A fantastic race indeed. And as that comes down to the ending, what a fantastic ending to this race. So why don't we go through... I want to make sure I know next week's race. I'm not going to do driver interviews because A, my controller is stupid. I'm not going to bother with that. And B, the only person that does join us in the interviews is Speedstun. He's not here today. So next week we will see you for the Italian Grand Prix, aka the Slipstream Grand Prix. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. That'll be round 8 of next week, and we have 4 rounds remaining this season. And Odoms is definitely on the charge to take the crown in this season, and he's overtaken Speedsta for P3 in points. What a well done and well-deserved victory for Odoms. We will see you next week for the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. My name is Alan Cavagnaro, and we will see you next time for another race on Inside Line Racing. I hope everybody enjoyed, or at least the Americans enjoyed their Memorial Day weekend. And also enjoyed the National Day of Motorsports, as I like to call it, as we have Monaco, we have Indy, and for the Americans that watch NASCAR, they have the Coca-Cola 600, which is the longest race of the season. So look forward to that. We will see you next week for the Italian Grand Prix. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Have a safe night, everybody, and peace.